What's up, everyone? This is Samuel, better known as Third Shift Millionaire from ThirdShiftMillionaire.com. Um, it's about 1:25 a.m. right now, and I was just getting ready to cook something. I guess I really do live up to the name Third Shift, right? Third Shift Millionaire, praying that the millions will come. But I was thinking about growth as I was cleaning the chicken I'm about to cook. I was thinking about growth and something that's been bothering me. It's about surrounding yourself with the right people. Some of the reason why, for me personally, I notice that I haven't grown well or so often is that sometimes I'm not always challenged. And it's also by the people that I associate myself with or the lack thereof. Because when you associate yourself with people who are quote unquote better than you, not better, but stronger than you to some extent, they challenge you to grow. There's a story about uh, a young man who was playing soccer, and at one end of the field there was older kids that were older than him, and at the other end of the field there were kids who were just his age. So he was playing with the kids about his age, and he was doing okay. You know what I mean? Then the kids his age kicked him out because they were like, "You're not good" and stuff like that, right? Then there was this gentleman who was watching this whole thing take place. So the kid was pretty bummed out, and he went like it was, just imagine a soccer field at a park, and he went from the field to sit with the older gentleman. The gentleman said, "So what just happened?" He's like, "You should go play with the bigger kids." I'm like, "But they won't. They're bigger than me." And he's like, "Go give him a try." So he went and asked the big kids to play with him. So he started to play with the big kids. Now, what happened is, as he's playing soccer with the kids, they have a longer stride than he does. He's chasing after the ball. He's working twice as hard as the older kids because the older kids don't even have to do as much when they come up against them to take the ball from him or to play around him. But him being the much younger one, he was striving and just fighting his way just to grab the ball. And when he does grab the ball, he has to play a little bit more roughly, a little bit more aggressively to defend the ball and to pass it to his partner or his partners or his other players. And the man on the bench was watching all this take place, and the kid was having a good time with the older kids, just just having a good time playing soccer, right? Um, After the game was over, he went back and said to the other man, he's like, to the old man on the bench, he's like, "Thanks for telling me to go play with the other kids. I had a lot of fun." And the old man said, "What are you doing next Saturday?" The old man said, "The old." No, I'm making. Just listen to the story. So the old man asked the kid, "Do you come here all the time?" And he's like, "Yeah, every Saturday." And the old man did know that. He did know that the kids always play soccer. And no, this is not a perverted story. I know it sounds like it's going there, but it's not. So the old man was like, "Okay, this is what I want you to do. Next week, don't play with the younger kids again. Continue to play with the older kids." So the next week went by. He said the little boy went, and then he played with the older kids again, and he was getting better. He didn't know it at the time. So then the third week comes by, and then the men sitting on the bench, like they exchange salutation, and the old man said, "You know what? I want you to ask the other kids to play with them now." I'm like, "But I'm having fun with the bigger kids," because the bigger kids were asking him to play again because they're familiar with him. And the man said, "No, this Saturday, play with the younger kids, play against your peers." So he went along and played with his peers, and he was scoring so many goals. And he was so amazed at what happened. And the other kids, his age, started rooting for him. They wanted him to play more. When the game was over that Saturday, they said, "You could come and play with us next Saturday." And it's like, "Sure." And the old man was flagging him down. So the old man flagged him down. He came by the old man, sat on the bench, and the old man asked him, "So how'd you think you did?" He's like, "I did great." The little boy was really happy. Like, "I didn't know I was that good." And the old man said, "Well, the reason why you got that good is because you were playing with the older kids. You had to fight and you had to play aggressively a little bit more with the older kids to keep up with them. That made you stronger. So when you went back to play with your peers, you were even better than they are because you put yourself in a place where you stretched. And the little boy just eyes got all wide and he understood exactly what the old man said. So the old man asked him one question, like, so next Saturday, who are you going to play with? But the more of the story is this. Sometimes you have to put yourself with people who are stronger than you, better than you, tougher than you, so that you can grow. Because if you continue to hang out with people who are at your level, at your peers, you're not going to grow. It's a good thing that you'll get a good exercise out of it. But if you're looking to stretch, if you're looking for growth, you always have to go to a challenge, another level. And that's what this little boy did. When he was playing soccer with the older kids, he was stretching himself, his stride, fighting the guys off from taking the ball from him, all of those things. He was actually stretching himself for growth. And this is what we must do as entrepreneurs. We have to put ourselves in a position where we stretch ourselves to the point where, we test ourselves to the point where we stretch ourselves. Because if you continue to hang out with just your peers, with just the people around you, you're just going to be at the same level. You're not going to grow. You're not going to stretch. You make good gains, but it's not going to be phenomenal gains. Just like that story of that young boy, you want to make good, phenomenal gains. And as I was cleaning the chicken, like I said, I was cleaning the chicken to cook it, and I'm thinking about my life. I'm thinking about where I am, and it's been on my mind for a while. It's like I do want to be stretched, and I'm striving to be stretched to grow, to have more experience, just to grow. So that's the whole message of this whole recording. I know I'm kind of rambling. It's not professionally made. I'm in my kitchen, whatever. But if you really want to grow, you have to put yourself with people who will challenge you to grow. And that's one thing that I find out that has been like I would say a defect in my growing up. It's like sometimes when you're the only one, or when you seem like you're the toughest person in your group or the smartest person in your group, that's not a good thing. It's never a good thing when you're the smartest person in your group. Granted, it's good at some time, but if it's all the time, that's not good. You need to put yourself in a position where you're going to be challenged, where your smarts are going to be challenged, where your strength is going to be challenged. I love working out. And that's why when I go to YouTube, or I read a magazine, or I follow someone's tough workout, I love that. It challenges me from the normal workout I would do, or from the normal workout I give to my clients. So this is part of the growth. You have to put yourself in a position, in a situation where you will grow, just like that boy with in the soccer field. So if you really want to challenge yourself this year, this decade in your life, I would say put yourself in a situation. You know what it is. It's probably coming to mind right now as you're listening to this. That's going to challenge you to grow. That's going to challenge you to step out your boundaries. Maybe it's some friends you have to walk away from. Maybe it's some people who are not at the level you want to be. Maybe it's some people who doesn't challenge you. And that's the worst part, is being in an atmosphere or environment or relationship that doesn't challenge you to grow, where there's no accountability, where there's no challenge. When there's no challenge, you either stay stagnant or you die. But when you put yourself in a situation or in a relationship or in relationships that challenge you, it challenges you to grow. It challenges you to stretch a little further. Just like that young boy on the soccer field. He had to go against the kids that were bigger than him. They had longer leg strides than him. So he had to work twice as hard. But when he went back to his peers, he was like Superman in a way, because he had grown so much within those few weeks of playing soccer with the older kids. Now imagine how strong you will be if you take yourself from your element right now and put yourself in a tougher arena that's gonna, even if it kicks your tail, so what? Don't look at, don't go into it with the mindset of I'm gonna win it. Go into it as the mindset for growth. Because if you do happen to lose, but learn the lesson that it's gonna stretch you to some level. You know what I mean? It's gonna stretch you to the point where you have more than you've had before. And now that you come back, or when you go back, or when you go further, I should say, in life, you'll have that under your belt. You'll have that extra strength. You'll have that extra knowledge. You'll have that extra victory that most people don't. And that's the best part. When you surround yourself with people who will challenge you, it's very important for your well-being, because if people in your life don't challenge you for the better, for you to become better, that's not a good thing, because it's just being in a mediocre relationship or a mediocre job or mediocre environment, and that's never good. You just basically, how do they say, you're just getting by. You're not really being challenged. So, as an entrepreneur, I would challenge you to put yourself in a situation where it stretches you to grow. It has to stretch you to grow, because you can't be the only smartest person in your group. It's good to associate with that group, but I pray that you have another group that's going to challenge you to grow. That's going to, even if they, I don't say belittle you, that's not a good word. Even if they put you to a I'm getting tongue tied. Even if they put you to a test to the point where you don't come up as the winner, but it's what you do, and it's what's going on in the process. For example, when I'm lifting weights, and everybody builders know this thing. When you're benching something or lifting weight for whatever reason, there's a failure set. It's a set that you take to failure. You don't actually make it all the way through, but you push yourself as hard as you can. Now, what's going on is your muscles are getting stronger to take on this heavy load. You may not make it that first week, but within a 3 or 4 week, you keep doing it, you're going to surpass that level. Whereas the first week you went shy of it, you didn't make it, but the fourth week you blast right through it, because you were conditioning your muscles for growth. It's the same thing. You're conditioning yourself for growth when you put yourself in a situation, in an arena that's going to challenge you, whether it's going back to school, whether it's taking a course, or whether it's anything that's going to help you progress to the next level. You know what it is. Innately, I believe you know what it is, because maybe you've been thinking about it and it's been challenging. Maybe it scares you to death to take that leap of faith, but there's a good chance that taking that leap of faith may be the very thing you need that will help you grow to the next level. I just wanted to share this with you. It's been in my mind for a little while, and this time I figured, let me pick up the tape and just share it, because that's what I'm doing now. I'm challenging myself to do these recording and put them out there. I have a lot of recording I didn't put out there, so now I'm putting them out there. Whether I'll edit them, whether I won't, but I'm going to put them out there to educate you, to inform you, to empower you, because I'm all about empowering people. I want you to be empowered. I want you to be inspired to live your best life, because that's what it's all about. It's about giving. Jesus Christ gave his life for each and every one of us. And I know you may not be a believer, but I am a believer of Christ. So the power to give, the power to share what you've learned and pass it on to the next generation, or to the next fellow, or to your next sister, whichever comes. But the whole point I'm making is, this is about growth. This is about you being the best person you can be. I pray that you start surrounding yourself with people who will challenge you out of love, whether they do it purposefully or not purposefully, directly or indirectly. It's very good for you to be put in a situation where they challenge you. When I train my clients, oh yeah, I'm also a personal trainer. When I train my clients, I push them to a point I call it oblivion. But I love the fact that they come through to the end and they get stronger and they get better. And that's what it is. You need mentors. You need people in your life that's going to push you to the point where they challenge you to be better, to be the very best person you can be. Because the worst friend you can have, or the worst peers you can have, is people that just accept you and doesn't challenge you. They see that you're doing just mediocre and they just accept it. Or they can't talk to you, they can't minister to you, they cannot add to your life. Those people are not, they're just stagnant. They're just like lukewarm water, you know. You want people who's going to help you. You want people who's going to inspire you. You want to put yourself in a situation where you want to be inspired, you know, where you want to be challenged, where you want to grow to the next level. It's very important. It's very important for your well-being. It's very important for your business. Again, my name is Samuel from ThirdShiftMillionaire.com. I pray and hope this has been a blessing to you. Remember to stretch yourself to grow, because if you don't, then you're just going to remain stagnant. And stagnation is just like, it's a slow death. You're just dying. I think Les Brown or Tony Robbins said this. I'm not sure who said it. They said there's only two ways in life. There's increase and decrease. There's no in between. It's either you moving forward or you moving backward. If you're stagnant, believe you me, you're not stagnant. You're actually moving backwards. Because you're not you're not propelling forward. So put yourself in these situations that's going to challenge you to be better. If you're about to start a business or anything, if you're about to sign a new client that you think that's going to challenge you, I'm not saying a pain in the butt client. I'm not saying anything like that. But if you know there's something good out there that God has put before you that's going to challenge you to be better and to do better for yourself and for your community, then I say take that challenge. All right? Again, Samuel from Third Shift Millionaire here. Peace. What's up, everyone?